It's the first time ever making plum jelly, and the first time my canning tools have seen the light of day since we left Ontario nearly 3 years ago. We've had so much going on, as you know, and growing and preserving food was not high on the priorities. In fact, it wasn't a priority at all for a long while, but times have evolved and we are finally so settled on our land that we can start getting back into our old homesteading ways again. And man, it felt good to wake up on Saturday morning, a pep in my step, knowing the day was all about preserving the 70 plus pounds of plums we harvested from our own land. I made it clear to my family, I have a project today that requires my full attention. Please try to help yourselves. Getting hungry? Eat. Want to chat? I don't. Want help? I'm busy. Need help? It better be serious. How long will this take? I have no idea. And it was about this time that I realized, oh gosh, this is actually going to take me until sundown. I may have picked too many plums. I started off neat and tidy, using a knife to cut the plums and remove the pit. Then it quickly became ripping them in half and just using my fingers to tear out the pit like a savage. Much quicker, but still, it was tasking. 70 pounds of plums, people. What was I thinking? I think Manfriend is right. I should have stopped at one harvested pail. Very early on, it was a daunting task, but you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed the beautiful day. And can you believe my family tried left and right to distract me? I kept my focus. Nope, busy over here. And eventually they gave up bothering me. Manfriend even took off for a few hours with our good friend for some ATV trail time, which was super bliss for me. I followed a recipe and instructions and just held my breath the entire time, praying I was doing everything correctly. Pretty sure that's probably good. Yeah. Sterilizing the jars. Just bringing that to the pile. Don't want to let out all my heat. And getting ready to do another round. Now, how do I describe the feeling of this accomplishment? I can't. And I didn't really fully appreciate it either until after everything was cleaned up and put away. I looked back at my stock, and I hadn't felt that sense of relief and pride in a long while. 4 containers of unsweetened plum juice for the freezer, 21 sealed cans of plum jelly, plus 2.5 jars that didn't seal, and 4 bags of washed, ripe plums. All in all, it was a successful plum jelly day, but stay tuned to the end of the video where I confess a few things I will do differently next time. We are having true Canadian end of summer weather over here. Very cool in the night, less cool at sunrise, downright hot for midday, then back to cool for sundown. It's actually really perfect this week, and I am squeezing out every bit of summer from Mother Nature as I can. Breathing deep these days as I get through some landscape on our land, the gardens desperately seeking my attention, which today they get in full and undivided, at least until dinner time, because after dinner, it's lake time. The next day, I snapped open a jar of jelly and made man-friend good old-fashioned PB&J sandwiches for his work lunch. It is very, very nice jelly. Dare I say, perfect consistency. But how is the taste, you ask? Homemade soup. I made a broth. And then yesterday when I was in the garden, I harvested some potatoes and some beans. I added that to it. I'm going to fry up this hamburger. Put Put some garlic in it from the garden. And that's the soup. Just a small soup. Just a small soup. Some potatoes going. I've been going over to the neighbors. They're away for a couple days. I've been watching their dog. So I just got back from taking him for his little morning stroll and breakfast. Man friend has left for work, and this is the last day of my daughter's summer vacation. She starts school tomorrow. A bit of oregano. This is from 2022, the garden in Ontario. Still smells really good. That's why I didn't grow any this year, because I still have lots. I continued on with my homestead catch-up week on the land, laundry, cleaning, landscaping, and puttering around, and of course taking time to look around and enjoy the fruits of our labors. Any chance we can, even if it means just walking around, marveling the trimmed grass. Everything is a victory around here. Let no task go unnoticed. So I cannot complain at all about my garden season this year. It's been a start. We've had a beautiful taste of fresh homegrown veggies again, which is just so delicious. Today I'm going to trim in there and all in there. Everything with gardening is trial and error, and probably my most difficult challenge this year was working with this clay and rocky soil. Instead of pulling weeds and grass, which was near impossible, I ended up just trimming them down. I also know a few crops I'll be relocating around for next year's garden season, so I can grow more of it. Some sections of the garden are already empty and closed down, like the potatoes and onions. I think I only have half a row of potatoes left in the ground at this point, and a basket of them in the fridge right now. There's peppers and sweetie tomatoes, beans, corn, and cucumbers still producing, and a very small amount of beet greens and carrots. And the perennials are very healthy and strong going into autumn. I'm so happy about that. My original garden, which is cute and sweet, is overflowing with cucumbers. At least 2 a day I'm harvesting. They are so good. And folks, the little planter at my dog shop may not have grown to be this grand affair like I had hoped for, but it surely has captured my gaze every day. Such a cute little patch of sunflowers and cosmos to brighten up any dog's day.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down. Fireplace, do you know how? Piles of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world out? Rest with me, close to curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Oh, how I love when it rains outside, and it's okay to slow the ride. Discover books I forget about, but who care for the world now? Rest with me, close the curtains, brew some herbal tea.
You know, every day I pinch myself asking, am I dreaming? Some days are just more unbelievable than others, and I have to pinch myself a little harder. Like, seriously though, how is this my life?
Bring my hills in my bed. Oh, just rest sweetly close to curtain. Brew some herbal tea.
Next time, I only harvest 1 pot of plums because 1 batch of jelly is enough for us. Maybe a double batch so I can make some plum sauce. Another thing I will do differently, I will simmer the plums just a little bit longer just to extract more of the fruit, and I would use a bigger pot because the second batch boiled over a bit. And lastly, I will not use liquid pectin, only the powdered pectin. I totally messed up with the liquid pectin, I think, because those jars became more of a syrup than a jelly. And hey you, if you're still watching, thanks for hanging out with me. This was fun. Tomorrow I'm going to start tackling what I call the Lakeside Hill Project. It's a project we started a couple years ago, and tomorrow I'm going to put a little dent in it. So I'll share more about that on the next video. Hope to see you then. Ciao for now.